All right, Hinson, welcome to Toledo.
Thank you, ma'am. It's nice to be here.
I've done some research on you and found out that you've had an interesting past. 3 counts of murder, vampirism, 19 paternity lawsuits. Is this all true?
You murder charge? No. No, them's all lies. You know.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I was proved innocent. I set up and trained for murder back in 1963. Yeah, yeah. Some jealous fellas had me set up and trained for the murder of the owner of the carnival I worked for. And then later on, I done 30 years, by the way. And then later on, a little girl, a grown woman who was a little girl visiting the carnival with her grandpa who worked there, witnessed the murder. And she seen a newspaper clipping on microfilm in the library about the news story, me being convicted of that murder. And she stepped forward with a sworn affidavit and got me off. So I was released in '93.
Oh, yeah. Thank goodness.
And I've been out on the road making records and playing church up in concerts ever since, you know, trying to make up for the lost time. So, long story short, no, I ain't never killed nobody. I never would have do something like that. It's all lies. Now, you grave robbing and vampirism, you know, 94 traffic violations. If people want to believe that about me, that's fine. You know, I can't help nor hinder what they think, or try to encourage or discourage it. If they want to believe I'm a vampire, or if they want to believe in Santa Claus, if it make them happy, that's fine. It don't bother me none.
You've been complimented by everyone, from Tom Petty to Hank III. You made fans out of Billy Bob Thornton and Matt Groening. Who has inspired you, and who are you a fan
of? Musically, the only musical influence I ever had in my life was my mama. She played the guitar and sang, and I was the only child. Never knowed my daddy. In fact, she never knowed my daddy anyhow. So the reason for that is she liked to party, my mama, and she got drunk and met this fella one night. They was both drunk, and they had the sexuals, and you know, 9 months later, here I come, and so she never even knew who my daddy was herself. So. Which accounts for my name, actually, Unknown Hinson. And when she was giving birth to me, she was in labor, and I come out, the doctor said, well, Miss Hinson, see, that was her maiden name. She was never married, and I'm what you call a bastard, I reckon, you know, illegitimatized. She said, what you want to name your boy? You got a son. And she said, well, I'd like to name him after his daddy, you know. She said, okay. He said, okay, what's his name? She said, well, I never know his name, but my last name is Hinson. Her name. He said, when he was filling out my birth certificate, he said, you know, Mama, Miss Hinson, Father, unknown. So, there you go.
That's how it all came about.
But yes, ma'am, she taught me 1 chord on the guitar when I was about 9, a lot older than that, about 5. She showed me 1 chord. And she handed it to me and said, look here, if you want to do this, you'll figure out how to do it. So I took it from her, you know. And when I went in prison a few years later, I had plenty of solitude to learn, practice my guitar and learn how to write songs and, you know, among other things. A writer needs solitude, and I had plenty of that. So it's all good. I ain't bitter about 30 years out of my life. You know, I learned a lot in prison. And I ain't bitter about it. I think it's taxpayers' money well spent. You know, so,
I'd agree with that.
Next question. That's fine.
So what's a typical day on the road for Unknown Hinson?
Typical day. Well, I don't see much of the daylight hours. A typical night on the road would be, you know, of course, Unknown Hinson show date and concert, of course, which is why we're here tonight. And then after the concert, I like to have a couple of pops of party liquor, you know, to loosen up, gear down, ease off the adrenaline of the concert a little bit. And I like to relax. And wherever hotel I'm staying in, you know, I have some more party liquor, and usually there's a couple of women who come around, kind of bored, lonely, needing some company, and of course I'm always willing to help them out. We have a good time, and that's about it. Otherwise, I sleep all day in the bus. I don't see the daylight much. I'm kind of allergic to the sun.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So a lot of people know you as Early Kyler from Squidbillies on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
How did you get that role?
That's interesting because, let's see, I put out a record on Capitol back in, it was about 2004 that come out. It was an EP, and it was like 6 songs with some sound bites of me talking in between the songs. And it was called Rock and Roll Straight from Hell, which is what I believe. And anyhow, the creators of the show got a hold of that CD, and I reckon they kind of liked my voice. So, you know, they contacted my management and said, would he be interested in doing this part? So, being a big cartoon fan, I said, sure. You know, it's a lot of fun. It really is. Well, the 6th season is airing right now.
That's right.
Right now. 6 years, and we've got plans for a 7th season, I believe, as well. Yeah.
That's right. And head of the clan, he's a smart guy. He's pretty wise that early.
Well, there's certain parallels in Early and me, you know, and I guess they figured the part was kind of like in line with my personality or what I do or how I live my life, you know. And the squid, Early Kyler likes to shoot his gun. He likes to chase women. He loves to drink his party liquor. And he does use colorful language from time to time, you know. Yeah, there's certain similarities there.
Well, you've played Toledo, Ohio numerous times. What can fans expect to see out of the show this evening?
I love this city. It's a great city, Toledo. A lot of wonderful people. Very warm, friendly people. What they can expect to see is me up there singing and playing my chart top and guts out for them. You know, I sing from my heart. I try to pick the guitar from my heart. I sing my songs about that I wrote about real life experiences. You know, I don't write about things that I don't know about. You know, I don't think a writer should do that. I think if you write about things you don't know, people they'll see through that. You know, see, that's about it. You know, me up there picking and singing from the heart. Yeah. You see a lot of women swooning and crying and whatnot. A lot of jealous husbands and boyfriends want to whoop my ass, but that, you know, it happens. I can't help that.
How do you handle that when they get jealous and come at you?
How do I handle it? I mean, usually what happens is when I sign and meet and greet my fans after a show, which I love to do. I love to meet them personally. I offer, it's always a standing offer from Unknown Hinson to sign a woman's breasts for her. You know, my signature across her breasts. And I have found, and the man's in the audience, they know that if a woman gets her signature, my signature across her breast, she's going to be in a damn good mood for the rest of the night, right?
Yep.
So when they go home, I ain't taking her home.
Right.
Her man's taking her home. All I done was put her in a good mood. So it's a win-win for her and him. See?
That's a good situation. You're known for putting on extremely long and powerful performances. Where do you get the energy from?
Energy. I reckon from God Almighty, you know, number one. And party liquor. You know, party liquor as I know it is, you see through vodka type. You know, I don't drink no party liquor I can't see through. That's a no-no. Yeah, you vodka type, preferably in a half-gallon size. That's about it.
Perfect. We'll get that ready for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.